So one of the things I hate to do is disrupt people who are engaging in good conversation, but I'll do it anyway. And I'll also try to move this along so that you can get back to conversation. But we knew that this was going to be a kind of a major Sunday where be a cause for celebration, and we wanted to, certainly we have some big projects coming, and we thought it'd be a great day to unveil some of those. But I want to just say, how about another round of applause for our choir for performing today. One of the things also it's worth mentioning today, worth celebrating. You'll hear it as we head into 2019. Peter begins this next year is his 25th year serving here. So, and a quarter century with such a dynamic music leader is such a wonderful thing, and Jeff coming on board to support us is such a tremendous gift. So we have such outstanding musicians in this church. We're glad Pastor Kate is back with us. I am really glad she's back. But another thing is, I want to also celebrate our Ken Wagner, our building chair, who just works so much behind the scenes. Ken's over here. Ken can correct anything I say today that I get wrong, so you can go find him afterward. Do you want to make a quick announcement at the end, or now? Let Pastor Kate do this right now.
One of the things that I missed while being on maternity leave was the chance to go to Germany with Pastor Jan and to be in that special place and to hear about the stories of the Reformation. But we are going to get a chance to do that again. Every decade, a town called Oberammergau puts on a version of the Passion Play. They only do it once every 10 years. And we have the chance to go and to see that next June. So end of May into June. So I invite you to take a look. Pastor Jan, is Pastor Jan here? There he is. Pastor Jan has some copies of an information sheet, and I am looking forward to 2020. I know it seems a little far away, but look at your calendars and see if that's a possibility for you. And other than that, it is just a blessing to be back and to see the exciting things that are coming to fruition in our capital campaign program and everything that Christ calls us to do. So, thank you.
And I put that.
Yeah, there's an information sheet on the piano, and you'll see it in our publications coming up too, so just keep an eye out for that. I think gratitude is an incredibly important thing to emphasize and practice. A congregation that practices gratitude, what I would say is it really ambitious about sharing the good news of Jesus, sees itself as a hopeful alternative witness to what's going on in the world, has the ability to reach new people, is growing in generosity, and is just kind of loaded with people who are full of hope and who are servants. And that's the way I feel about all of you in this congregation. I'm going to kind of rocket us along here. I don't know if you, just back up 2 years. 2 years ago, I said to church council, I'm not sure we can afford a second full-time pastor, and our council said, you're an idiot, and said, challenge the church to make sure we can support that. The theme 2 years ago was make it happen. You made it happen. We entered the call process, we brought Pastor Kate on, and we've had a nice trajectory of growth. A year ago, we started this Building Connection campaign using the image of a Lego block. We'll get to that. I call it a hybrid campaign. It's not a classic capital campaign. So our campaign, as you might remember, or if you're hearing this for the first time, is 25% mission expansion at Good Shepherd and within our synod, who's also trying to reach out and reach new people, and 75% is for capital improvements here at Good Shepherd's. I make no mistake that the top is the more important. Both are important, but if we're only going to do one, growing the mission is the most important thing. So we set an ambitious goal of reaching 300 new people it's just setting it high enough that it's saying we need to become better at reaching out and connecting people. And that doesn't mean just new people, it means connecting people who are already in our midst. 90% of that money remains at Good Shepherd for our staffing growth and mission expansion. 10% is a direct gift to the Synod. So at the end of August, we had raised about $100,000 for the mission piece, which meant that the Synod had received a $10,000 grant from us. Additionally, one of the things I could say is our endowment has also provided some grants to congregations. So we're supporting, we've supported Good Samaritan in Lexington Park, Maryland, Epiphany Burtonsville, Covenant in Dale City, Peace Lutheran in Waldorf. We have a church in Herndon, Virginia, asking for assistance in how they, in trying to do a campaign similar to us on a smaller scale. And there's just more and more congregations reaching out to us for support. And you should be thankful for. I'm very thankful for that. I'm going to get into the facility quickly here, but you might note a year ago we said we think we need a connection coordinator, really. So Pastor Kate and I have support in reaching out to new people and then ensuring that they get involved. The image of a Lego block has 8 connecting pieces. You realize, and the image is if you can help someone make 8 friends in the first year, the odds are they're going to be here for a really, really long time. I think most of you can testify that that is true, but there'll also be people who help us reach out and connect to others as the years roll on. So we're really, Mary Jo owns the lobby every Sunday. You probably all have met her, but it's a wonderful... And what's cool is Mary Jo's been saying, I've been waiting for this role my whole life, and it's really cool. I'm really grateful to have her on board. Another piece with this is we'll live stream our worship at some point, and there will also be enough money we can either add staff hours or, as we want to grow our program, add additional staff people. The facility side of things, we had some initial early big bang for the small buck, if you will. First impression projects were the first part of this year. We put on an awning, which I really like. A lot of people really like to be able to walk outside, not be in the rain, but it's a nice prominent entry for us now. A coat room that you actually are going to be using a lot in the coming weeks, but no longer do we have a roving coat racks. That if, on a day like today, people would be trying to get through here to get them over here or wherever we decided to put them that day. It's a hospitality issue. The fence is a nice update from the fence that had fallen down. This summer, I refer to the upper level, the education wing, and the lower as the ministry hub. Most of the ministry during the week is in that end of the building. Most of our committee meetings, AA, the preschool, happens there. We renovated the upper part of that wing, which gave us 2 double-sized rooms, which gives us more flexibility. Let me just switch to the next one. Pastor Kate, remember the church provided for her nursery, for her baby shower, took care of the nursery, and we have a nice new look there. These rooms now, 2 of them have LCD projectors from the ceiling, so they don't take up floor space. Every room is going to have Christian art, so when you go in there, you know you are in a Christian space. And just like this room that ministers through art, every room there will as well. Music office was renovating, janitorial space was created. We'll do a field trip on that if you'd like, but we're in the process. The Ed Wing is not completely done, but it will be. Just a sample of the double-sized room. This is about 22 kids, I think, with several adults experiencing the blessing of a much larger room. This will be a large confirmation class in a couple years for us, which we're excited about. Next up, as I said, finish furnishing the ed wing. The divider, so right now 200 and 202 is just one large room because the divider hasn't come in, but it comes in about a week and a half, and it'll be put up probably before Thanksgiving, so we'll really be able to start to use that room for the community, and we'll decorate it. We're going to keep working on the LED lighting. If we get the whole facility all LED, the utility bills go down further and further, but Bill Simmelink is forever in the rafters putting in LED lighting. So eventually we want to get these two signs, one on the corner out here to replace the one people don't always seem to like, and one actually down toward the preschool level to capture 355. But it would be electronic sign. So we can change it so to announce, well, John Rutter's Requiem this Sunday, or Christmas Eve, or Ashes to Go. They spelled Good Shepherd right, which we're thankful for. They butchered Ash, but so Arthur Ashe Wednesday. We also kept we had an extra brick from when we actually built the sanctuary 10 years ago. We've been keeping it, so that will become the base of the sign. Which is kind of cool. It's out here on the patio right now. Shepherd's Hall renovation next summer. I want to just kind of give you, I never assume everyone has been here for decades, so let me just kind of give you this real quick. This current building you can kind of see in four sort of distinct units. For education's sake, these two units were built in 2008. That's everything on the other side of that wall right there. And where we are right now was built in 1978, includes across the hall, and we did demolish, so we're just not even going to get into that, but and the education wing was built in 1988. Vera Mae Schultz was the building chair for this. Ernie Kessler was the building chair for this. The 2008 one, and I do not know who was the building chair for this. So if it's you, stand up and be applauded. Don Kress was the council president when we built this. So you saw this on Shepherd's Post cover. We knew we were going to upgrade the heating and AC in here. We have one unit that functions right now. We had. They're not functioning. Nothing is functioning now. Your body heat is keeping us warm right now. 6 units. One of them lasted like 40 years, but 1 out of 6 doesn't serve you real well. This was Wednesday. The 6 units went onto the ceiling. I think it's really symbolic saying the renovation of this important space has begun. Not the most glamorous, but you really are going to appreciate that as we head into winter. This would be a remote controlled HVAC system so that Vicki could control it from her home if needed. But it's one that could be tied into all the ed wing upgrades. So eventually, whenever a room's heating unit fails, we'll put in new units that are high energy efficient that tie into this system. So we think that why replace them until they fail, but we have the plan. So 1978, the congregation built this space that functioned as the primary worship space for 30 years. They built a magnificent shepherd window right here, 7 windows over here that told the mission of the church through art. I'm not going to go through all that, but I'll put that on I did that in a longer presentation. We'll put that on the website. But these are very mission-oriented windows. This is what these are. So I'm going to show you 2 artistic renderings. They're also in the lobby. You've probably seen them as you go by, but let me just kind of try and describe it the best I can. This carpet here is 7 years old, 6.5 years old. It's wonderful, isn't it? It replaced the wonderful orange carpet, but this, it's in bad shape, so we wanted a hard surface floor that's easier to clean. So a hard surface floor, this stepped up lighting that's LED lighting, the lumens changes, the ceiling changes. It's 80% down lighting, 20% illuminating the ceiling, which makes the ceiling much brighter and the room much brighter just by virtue of the lighting itself. Ken's talked about cleaning the ceiling, maybe putting some linseed oil on it to shine it a little bit, but not needing to really do much other than rip out some of these the current lights. HVAC I already talked about. The windows itself are already in place. The magnificent art there already. You've noticed for years this place has just been very cluttered. We have chairs out, tables out, piano gets a buy, the computer out, all these things over here. What you see in this drawing over here, this wall will from here come out several feet to about here, parallel to the wall. And the old sacristy, what will be created then is the storage room for all the tables and chairs. So nothing has to sit out. The computer need not sit out because there will be a space in there. There's a second door that would be like over in here with a keyed door, and then there's a alternating stairwell that goes up into what used to be the organ pipes. Right now, I think there's 2 of us who can get up to there safely. So there's not much stored up there, but that will also enable this. I don't know, that's a big room up there that can be legitimate storage for us. Not that storage is that exciting, but it actually is for us. We need it. But it really then presents, you come in and it's a nice, beautiful, open room. Romeo and Juliet balcony, and I need to come up with a better term. I jokingly said that didn't end well, but a better view of that. There's the second door over here. So these, from the get-go, sound, we got to get right. Lighting, we have to get right. I've heard that over and over. Sound, you must get right. So we need to remove that barrier so anyone can come in this room and hear Pastor Ted talk. If we have a worship service in here, we want to make sure everyone can hear. You may not be hearing me now, but I'm being recorded. This wall there would be no painting of any of the brick, but this area over here would get sort of a false wall, which acoustically that's a good direction for someone to teach from. We've always been advised. But we've experienced this for 10 years. We've used this room in a variety of formats. We've worshiped facing different directions, teaching different ways. Kids use this space too. So this is just kind of illustrating how we could have a whiteboard over here, could project over here, could project in multiple spots. These things these are sound baffles though. Considering you have a hard surface floor, you need some acoustic panels to help deal with that. So these are in a lot of buildings that you'll see. Ken can give you the specs if he wants. But we know we need to get the sound right. We know we need to get the lighting right. And if you don't get those right, you come talk to me. Or talk to Ken. But those are I've heard that for 17 years. 17 years we got to get that right here. So I can go back to those in a moment, but 2 weeks from now is Commitment Sunday. Like last year, we'll have a 2-part pledge card. One is for the 2019 ministry year. We put that on top saying that always remains the most important thing. We have to just keep doing what we're doing and keep strengthening the existing ministry. Building connection enables us to do more. So there will be some people I know were waiting to see what we were going to do with this space to decide what your pledge would be. But the other thing is, I would say there'll be room for a new pledge for that campaign, but there'll also be an opportunity just to check, I renew my commitment to this campaign. So we recognize we had about 175 people already are a part of that campaign, so we want to honor that renewal. A year from now, there's going to be some of us, I know our family will be done our 3-year pledge because we did an advance gift, and I'll probably have this thing, well, maybe I should do a little more a year from now for this campaign. Questions? Or you want to go back to just talking in general?
Is it going to be non-slip flooring?
So non-slip flooring. I hope so. That is, I mean, we've heard more about flooring than anything else. So I'll be honest, that's the dominant question. Traction.
I just want to say thank you to the committee for putting in handicap accessible doors for the restroom.
Yeah. And you guys, you might remember someone, Joan raised that at one of these forums, and we were able to just, Ken and Bill were able to get that up and running. So they've done the heavy lifting on a lot of this. So, Jim.
They already have been planning, but I noticed that the ramp from the driveway to the sidewalk is not under the canopy.
So So Ken, let me answer it, and Ken can either nod or say, I'll practice. We're at the far end of the property where the old shed used to be. We're going to build a garbage corral that is with the same sort of fence material we have, and that will involve needing to bring in the people to the concrete people to redo the ramp there. Same time out here, they'll do a ramp right there by the awning, so that will have some traction to it. If the city will let us. Okay. So those who know the city, people lobby for that. I'll hang out. Ken will be here to hang out. I want to honor the opportunity to talk some more. You'll be getting this some stuff from me in the mail this week. The renderings are in the lobby now. I think it'll be a wonderful project. Confirmation is the third Sunday of May, and we fully expect. I mean, we're going to be sending this out to bid later this, not too far from now. I hope that we have confirmation Sunday and then almost immediately can just say, come in and start work. So we want to be done by VBS next summer, or else I'm going to have a really difficult issue at my house with my wife being the VBS director. So, but it's like May 19th, I think, or something like that is confirmation. It would be nice to say May 20. Come on in, get rolling. So. Thank you all, and thank you for the food and all this.